points. He's not the best at titles. He's not the best at NBA.
It's gonna be live things where we're doing live reactions to music. Yes, sir. We are live in the building. It feels good to be live, man. It feels good to be back in the building, baby. We coming in with that type of energy today.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. What's poppin', man? It's your boy Word, man. Back on the Word of Clarity podcast with your boy
DBG. The theme music in the building. This is crazy, bro.
Yes, sir. Catch eye. I told you we was coming in with that big noise today, John. What'd I tell you, bro? You see what I'm saying? How Cat's feeling over there, though, dog? Cat's eye?
Hey, listen, I'm ready to go, man. I'm fired up. I'm glad we back after last week. So, another week to kind of get it in, step on boys next, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back at it again with your boy from the TX looking like he dressed out of BX.
Boys always trying to put bars on something, bro.
What's poppin', my G? Cat's eye over there today, dog? What we feeling like?
Gucci, man. We Gucci, dog. You know what I'm saying? Fresh off Thanksgiving, got that pumpkin pie.
Oh, my God.
Pumpkin
pie.
No, pecan. I meant to say pecan.
Right. Pumpkin, bro, you almost got murdered. Pumpkin pie. Bro, pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving is nasty work.
Unruly, bro. That's unruly, bro.
I ain't never had pumpkin pie a day in my life.
Cat's Thanksgiving was all right, though, dog. How was Cat's over the weekend, man?
Oh, it was good, man. It was good. Got to see that UT versus A&M football game, which was lit.
Okay.
UT did their thing, which I was excited about. They definitely showed A&M that they big bro. So for all A&M fans, this ain't on the list, but I just want to say this. For all Texas A&M fans, it's over. I'm sorry, but it's over. UT came in and let y'all know that they big bro. We'll talk about that another time, but it's a sad day for them.
Wow. You ain't got no comeback rebuttal for that Kenny G.
Hey, that man over there preaching the gospel, bro. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can be mad about it all they want, but the Longhorns have shown all season, especially if you've been following college football, in my opinion, they ain't really played nobody too tough, but the record speaks for itself. They got two quarterbacks who will both be in the NFL, and shout out to the Longhorns.
Hey, was you familiar with that cat I put in the chat? I don't know if you've seen it. Ace Bailey for Rutgers basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I heard he supposed to be one of them guys. I checked him out, though. Huh?
Hot take real quick as far as Ace Bailey's concerned. He's the best player in this draft over Cooper Flag.
Nah, you tripping. I ain't seen him play, but I just the smell test tell me you tripping.
I ain't lying, though, bro. Look, the reason I brought him up, because one of my homeboys at my where I work at, he was telling me about him because he watched tape all day, and that's kind of what he got to do for his role. And he was like, he said he actually in some mock drafts they got him going over Cooper Flag. Now I like Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag, he got an NBA game. Like he nice.
He's easy to play with.
Easy to play with. He know how to get a bucket, but also get other people a bucket. But Ace Bailey though, he like that. He's a bucket getter. But over the weekend, like during the Thanksgiving games and stuff, Dylan Harper, Ryan Harper's son, play on the same team at Rutgers. And he nice too with it. The game, he let the game come to him. He got a nice feel for the game. So
absolutely.
I was like, yeah, they got some gunners over there.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you something right now, bro. Coming into college over the summer, ask Word. You can ask Word, bro. I showed nothing but love to Cooper Flag. Yeah. I think Cooper Flag's gonna be a hell of a pro. I compare Cooper Flag to Kevin Love with more athleticism. Like that's special, right?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
but Ace Bailey gets to the right situation, they're not even going to be the same type of player, bro. I'm telling you right now.
I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, check him out. Yeah, he played for Rutgers, dog, and he got Dylan Harper over there too, which is Ryan Harper's son. So, but man, speaking of hoops, man, we kind of talked about the Houston Rockets for a nice little segment last episode. And right now they seeded, I think last episode they probably was like top 4 or top 5, but they number 2 in the West right now. They just took out OKC last night. You know what I'm saying? Which the game was pretty entertaining. Dylan Brooks over there acting a donkey, but over there playing bully ball. Hey, what's your take on Dylan Brooks, man? How does Houston feel about Dylan Brooks though? I just want to kind of throw that. What is the reception?
No. We don't got to start off with that.
I want to know what's the reception of him.
He's similar to a Pat Beverly. If he on your team, you cool with it. I'll put it like that.
I'm talking about for Houston. I already know that. I'm talking about for Houston though. Is he a fan favorite type cat, or is he just one of them guys y'all just like, hey?
Nah,
he ain't. Dang. Anyways, man, I guess what I'm trying to get to with this Houston squad, are we believing these guys, or is this just that recent Atlanta Hawk team that went 66-16 and got put out in the first round by Bron and them boys? That's how I'm feeling, if you ask me. But let me hear what y'all thoughts are.
Who gonna kill him first? Clarity, you got him? Who gonna kill him first?
Hey, bro. Hey, go ahead and hand me the gun, bro. I got you right now, bro. The only people that don't believe in the Houston Rockets right now are babies, fools, and Word, bro. That's the only cats that don't believe in the Rockets right now, bro. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, we tried to educate you last week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now, we got to address you again. We got to address you again like the Gettysburg, bro. Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. This team is made up of the right types of ingredients. You know they say down in New Orleans, right? A lot of people, the reason why they don't know how to make a good gumbo because people don't know how to make a roux. There's certain contents that make up the specialness of a good gumbo, bro. Yeah. And I think the Rockets have that. So when you see them winning, don't be surprised. They may be a little bit ahead of schedule, but these boys is ready right now. Mm-hmm. These boys is ready right now. A second round playoff berth from them as long as everybody stays healthy. Ime Udoka should win Coach of the Year. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's the best coach in the NBA. If we didn't win a championship last year, I'd still be throwing a pity party for the fact that we lost Ime Udoka only because he wanted to get some cheeks, bro. So what?
That was crazy work,
like, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, bro. That man could coach us behind us. We should have never let him go, but. We got a chip. I like Joe. He's tenacious. Anyway, back on the Rockets. I believe in them, bro. Go ahead and educate this man. I don't know how many times I got to tell him about this young squad. Jalen Green, Sengun, my guy Cam Whitmore, Fred Van Vliet, the Thompson twin. Like they got a lot of components. But go ahead. I don't want to take up too much time. You go ahead and educate this man, bro. Before
we get to Odo, your answer to the ceiling is a second round berth, right?
Right now, because they're young, experience. But yes, second round berth for sure.
I'm just second round berth. He feeling bad about it. I'm just asking. I want to get clarity on clarity on what we talking about here.
Yeah, for sure. Western Conference semifinals. Western Conference semifinals right now.
All right, yeah. Let me see what you got. What you think about these guys, O'Dara? What you got for them?
Word. That's a targeted question. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really a fair. Yeah. The question isn't fair because what you're really not acknowledging is the amount of potential that we have on our team. You're going to have to be dealing with the Houston Rockets for decades. And this is something
all right. Now, come on.
Come on. This is something
I'm ready to jump off of it. So in what era? Hold on. In what era? Go ahead.
Bro, something that your team does not know because your team does not actually have a competent front office. And I try to tell you this for some time because the LA Lakers, they have an incompetent front office, which for since the 2020 year, they've literally, I can't curse on here. They've literally crapped the bed since they've gone for that Russell Westbrook trade when they try to blame it on Bron. No, Rob Pelinka, that's your job. LeBron plays basketball. He's not the GM. That's your job. As far as the Houston Rockets, you see from top to bottom, we have a great roster. We have a lot of rising stars. So not only does that give us the ability for trade assets, but we also have picks. we also have great picks on the side. So there's no stretch in the imagination. The same way that you look at OKC, where they've been able to rebuild a team twice from the draft, which, as you've seen with the new structures of the NBA, they're making it a lot more difficult for you to go pick stars from all over the league, which is what LA has done in the past. The Houston Rockets, in addition with not only the new but the better Greg Popovich, who he sat under, because he's a Greg Popovich who not only can develop talent, but he can also coach and scheme better than Greg Popovich. So yes, the Houston Rockets are absolutely here to take the league by storm. That's facts.
So look, man. So I guess you used the OKC example. What? Go ahead. You want to interject? What you got, bro?
Now.
I'm standing on it too.
I was with you until you brought Greg Popovich in the picture.
He's just talking crazy. He's just saying stuff that want to go viral.
No, I don't. I'm just telling you a fact.
Hey.
I didn't hear what Steven Jackson said.
I believe in Ime.
You didn't hear what Steven Jackson said?
Like the next man, bro. Greg Popovich. Hey, calm it down. Hey.
No. I'm gonna ask you a question. What has Greg Popovich done as a coach, record-wise, whenever he hasn't had all NBA talent around? You tell me that.
Giving the Warriors the scare of their life with one player and a bunch of requisite pieces. The last time that happened, he had a healthy Kawhi Leonard and nobody else besides a young DeJounte Murray.
Okay,
and they would beat the Warriors by 30 plus. What are we talking about?
You didn't answer my question. I said without an all NBA player.
He developed him, though. He wasn't an all NBA player prior to him. You can't take what was Kawhi Leonard before he was in that? Like, come on now. You acting like he walked in with as a Wemby type of guy. Kawhi Leonard ain't that. What I'm saying. Well, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is NBA players will tell you that Greg Popovich is not the best. He's not the best schematic coach and he's not the best developer. He's a leader of men, which is very important to be an NBA coach. But whenever it comes to the schemes or whenever it comes to development, I feel like there's other coaches out there that are better.
Development?
Oh my God. This dude.
Well, he ran Kawhi out the building. Didn't he run Kawhi out the building? If he was so great at development, then why did Kawhi leave?
Hey. Before you start talking about how he ran Kawhi off the building, let me just remind you. When Greg Popovich was the coach, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, DeJounte Murray, Kawhi Leonard, all came under Popovich's system. When we talk about development, bro, do you understand there are people who are from San Antonio who don't want to be in San Antonio? There are people who are from San Antonio who don't want to be in San Antonio, let alone an NBA city that nobody is coming to. And he's developing talent. Decade after decade, he's developing talent in San Antonio. Do not sit up here and tell me that there's better development coaches in the NBA. That San Antonio system is what OKC was birthed out of. Ask Sam Presti where he got the blueprint from.
Okay.
Bro,
there's
no way.
No.
I'm saying there's better development coaches in the NBA than a Greg Popovich, given the track record that not a soul wants to be in San Antonio, and he created that place a dynasty out of nothing.
Ime Udoka. Like I said, it's not like I'm talking about he's some
that was spewing some black
coach. No, I'm just telling y'all a fact. That was spewing some black. So you're not gonna give Ime credit for the Celtics, for the development of the Celtics, and he come to another franchise and did it all over again.
You just heard me.
Ime didn't do anything different than what the Celtics already doing prior to him being there. Honestly, if you ask me, bro, I'm
gonna give.
They had already went to the finals, bro.
We gonna say, nah, bro.
I give the same.
They already went to the finals prior to Ime, bro. Like
that's true. Well, no. He brought him there. He brought him there. That was his year.
So they didn't go to the finals. They didn't go to the finals prior to Ime.
Right. No. Ime brought him to the finals. That was the first time Jason Tatum and them had been into the finals with Ime. So we got to give Ime his respect. They
went to multiple conference finals under Brad Stevenson.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
They were young. Like, it was just a matter of them guys just stepping more into their primes and being older and veterans. That was it to me, honestly. They were already above where you probably expected them to be at at a point of their career. Like they was.
Let me adjust and say this one thing. As of right now, as far as the trajectory of Ime Udoka's career, I feel whenever it's all said and done, people will look at him as holistically a better coach than Greg Popovich. I'll stand on that.
I'm about to. All right, it's time to go. You saying too much blasphemous stuff, bro. What are you talking about? Do you know what realm do you have Greg Popovich in to be saying this? Is he not a all-world great coach to you all time? Like, where do you have him at? If you think he's that obtainable by a guy that hasn't even had one ring to his resume yet.
He gonna get one. I mean,
but you have to be doing something, bro. You have to have done something to even make remarks even close to what you're saying.
Okay, that's almost like somebody giving somebody flack for an individual like what's Kansas City Chiefs head coach?
Andy Reid?
Andy Reid. That's almost like somebody giving an individual flack for saying whenever he had Donovan McNabb and he was in Philly, okay, he can be the greatest coach of all time. He just had to get the right pieces eventually.
That ain't like that. No, you talking in hindsight.
Wait a minute, bro.
He has one of the. This is you're making crazy comparisons right now.
No, I'm not.
This is asinine what you're spewing.
No. Do you understand? Let me just say this. Do you understand that there are only a few coaches in Greg Popovich's rare air? Phil Jackson is one of them.
He's one of the top 3 coaches of all time.
Riley, what are you talking about?
So y'all don't think Ime's going to... Okay, y'all answer that. Where do you think Ime's going to end? Where do you think Ime's going to land at the end of his career? Where do you think Ime Udoka will land at the end of his career as far as a coach?
Listen,
you tell me that.
If Ime Udoka... I love Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka hasn't even done what Mark Jackson has done quite yet. And I like Ime Udoka. Again, I do think Ime Udoka is one of the, if not the best coach in the NBA. He's my favorite coach in the NBA. So this is not me crapping on Ime Udoka. But what you were saying right now, sir, is unruly. It's disgusting.
It's crazy. Way. He's talking wildly right now.
Listen. The disrespect you're giving Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich could croak tomorrow and be a top 5 coach in the NBA of all time. And you're saying that Ime Udoka, when it's all said and done, is going to be better than Greg Popovich. He better win 3 or 4 in the next 10 years. Easily.
He can.
Before we
you said all kind of stuff. We about to be dealing with the Rockets for decades. Like, bro, none of that stuff you're saying, bro, it's not built on raw facts. You're just
They have a good front office. Front office.
Is this so you feel like this is the best shape from the personnel to the front office that they've ever been in the history of that organization to make a claim like that?
To make a claim like what? That we're going to be running?
We'll be dealing with them for decades to come, meaning like 20, 30 years is what I'm taking from that.
Decades might have been a stretch. Let me say for the next,
that was crazy to me.
For the next 10 to 15 years. The next 10 to 15 years.
It's only like 2 teams in the NBA you can really actually... 15. Yeah, he's crazy. I'm about to... Yeah, I ain't even got much to say. Let me just tell you what I'm going to say about them as far as...
What?
It's not even too. What teams have we been dealing with in all of basketball for 10 to 15 last years? It's only like 1 or 2 teams.
The Warriors.
It's only like 1 or 2 teams, bro. And the Lakers. That's it.
The Celtics.
And that's no. It's like, bro. It's like 3 teams. That's about it, bro. The Heat. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, we ain't been. Nah, you playing.
What are you talking about? Whenever I say deal with them, that doesn't mean that they're winning a championship every year. I'm saying that we're going to have
I ain't saying that.
Yeah, we're going to have some down years, but as far as what you can see, we're set up.
But bro, let me remind you of something, bro. They also in the West. That automatically will bring a lot of parity in in that conference. I mean, we thought I could have sworn a couple years ago that Ja Morant and them Memphis Grizzlies guys was going to be here to be dealt with year in and year out. That's just me. But obviously, they had so many personnel and switches doing that, his career, all the troubles. Like Ime has a trouble past as well. Who knows what the hell he might get into down in Houston? The chicks we just see. Oh yeah, hold on. We talking about clapping cheeks in Boston, nigga. Imagine the cheeks he clapping down in Houston, nigga. Like hold on now. Like come on, let's really talk about some real stuff now. So we never know what's gonna really happen with him. Let's just keep it a bean.
I know we're going to transition to that top 5 PGs in the NBA, but one thing I will say, the Joker that the Rockets have is our baby Joker, because that is the one thing that an NBA team will die to always have, and that is a dominant big man. So whenever I say we have another 10 to 15 years of
dominant big, you crazy?
Yes, bro.
The teams that's been. What are you talking about, bro? This is not early 2000s. The big man is not as valuable as it once was. If you're talking about a traditional big, just say that type of style of big, but a big man in the sense that I felt like you were saying ain't the same thing now.
What are you talking about? Size is what matters. Pause.
That. Right. But that's like
he might have a point. He might have a point because when you think about it, though, word. Let's just. Even though I think he's been tripping a little bit, but I will agree. I do. No. I'm gonna give you some props because I think that's a really good point. Think about the bigs who are dominant in our league, though. Joel Embiid for sure when he's healthy on the floor. Jokic, like those are game changing.
And Giannis, that's it. Those are, but when you talk, that's it. It's only 3 guys for me. Anthony Davis, he's in and out.
Is another one.
He's in and out.
That's what I was gonna say. AD.
But hold on, if I was to ask each of y'all real opinion of Anthony Davis, y'all would start to tear him down. Don't start to praise him because it's convenient in this conversation.
No.
Because I've heard plenty of degrading comments on Anthony Davis on many a podcast and from y'all as well. So
2020. Absolutely. But wait. I'm not arguing that Anthony Davis doesn't piss me off.
Right.
What if we never debated the word? What if I always said about Anthony Davis? As mad as if he's healthy,
yeah, he's that guy.
He's a top 3 talent in the league, period. That's a guarantee. And all I'm saying is, this is not about a convenient argument. Anthony Davis, when healthy, is, to me, that's what makes you so mad about him. There's no reason why Anthony Davis is not the best player in the league every year. The talent is through the roof. So yes,
I understand.
When he doesn't perform that way, I slander him because you are more talented than 95% of the league, and you don't act like it 95% of the time. So yes, I'm very upset.
Yeah,
but we're not arguing.
I'm just saying, like, but the big man, at least the way that a big was once used, or even that style building through a big, doesn't have to be much of an emphasis that indicates you're going to be a contender or a championship team, especially when you got. It's more, bro, especially when you got the way guys are playing all like Golden State was a couple years. Like when you look at Boston, bro, like it's a matter of how much shooting is going up, being a defensive squad, and basically being interchangeable almost from 1 to 5. That's really what it's about, bro.
Hey, I remind
they
you,
have that. They can match up. There's no bad matchups with them. Look at the teams that win.
We don't run that finals the way that we did without Porzingis the first 2 games being who he was. That was incredible.
Yes, but what happened when he went down?
Changed the culture of those games.
He did.
The culture of those games.
He did. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. With or without him, bro, y'all win that. That's just what it is. Okay. Dallas don't even have a traditional big or a big like you're talking as a Jokic. They were in the finals. When you look at Golden State, they never had a big. You know what I mean? Like it's too many examples of championship teams rather than one-offs. Giannis and Jokic, bro, like they haven't even been back there since they won. That's just what it is to me, bro. But we got to get up off of this one, though, bro. Because you crazy with it. I don't know. You already jumped off the ledge too many times with that Houston madness, bro. That was insanity.
Hey, man. He is 6'11" dominant big man. Y'all gonna have to see him. That's it.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you because I ain't even get. Hold on, let me tell you right now. You feeling a little too good about these Houston Rockets just because it's 20 games into the season and y'all 16-4. Congratulations, bro. I'm telling you right now. If y'all was inside of a 7-game series with my Lakers, I'm picking us easy, and I'm willing to put a bet on that right now, my nigga. Whatever you want to bet, we can make it happen. If you inside of a 7-game series with my Lakers and we healthy, we taking y'all out. That's just what it is. Y'all don't have the championship fiber to know what to do when you got it. You know you don't want to argue this because you know your favorite player on the other side of them lines in Bron James, my boy. So let's just keep it a bean. Anthony Davis is a different Anthony Davis this year. What we talking about? You want to do $100 or you want to do $50 to make it easy on you? What we doing? Oh, what we doing? Because we can take it there.
Hold on. Let's flip it. I say, would you take? Hold on. Listen. Let me finish. You know how I feel about Luka. I bet you 50 that the Rockets will take the Mavericks out.
That's not my squad. I'm not finna put money behind another. No, but don't run from the smoke. That's not even warranted smoke. Me and you betting, but that's your squad. That's like if my Lakers was to play against the Boston Celtics in the finals. Jason Tatum, my guy, but I'm not putting money on that nigga. I'm putting money on my squad. That's just what it is. If you really rocking with your guys like that, you got to put money behind your guys. You know what I mean? Like what we doing? It's all right though, my G. We can revisit that better another time if you feeling good after 30 games or so. Anyways, man, top 5 PGs. It's been a huge conversation. We had a little bit last podcast, but I think Melo has been forcing a lot of cats to have this conversation more and more. And so prior to the show, Kenny G was over here getting his top 5 together. And I've been sending him memes in stats and clips of podcasts of cats praising Melo on a different level. Because I'm steady telling this cat, Melo is a top 5 PG. And there's plenty of evidence that shows this. But here we are today. So how you want to go at this, man? We want to try to get an objective top 5 and see if Melo, or we just want to talk about it from a sense of what is the bona fide top 5 PGs in the league right now?
I'm gonna name PGs, or we can name PGs, and you tell me if Melo is definitively over this player.
Let's do it.
Number 1, Wardell Stephen Curry.
As of now, this is where we get nasty work in. If we're talking about who's performing at a better level right now and who I'm taking Melo right now. No! That's just how I feel, baby. I'm taking Melo. Hey, look, let me answer this though. Over a 82 game season. That's just what I'm feeling right now. In a different scenario, I'm taking Stephen. In the playoff big stage, I'm going there. But who do I want right now? Off of performance, and look, you said definitively. That's the challenging word there. I don't know if that's definitive, right? But what I feel right now, I have to lean into Melo right now. And look, I can. Are you frozen or are you here?
I'm here.
No, I'm talking about Kenny because he looked like he about froze up on the nigga.
What?
I'm just saying, off of what we looking at right now, bro. Look, let me say this though. The reason I'm saying this, the type of buckets and the way he's getting his buckets, the last time I felt like this was Stephen Curry. I mean, he's hitting shots in ways that I don't think anybody can anticipate the guard that can stop it. Like that step back and then like almost like he's pedaling backwards, but shooting, it was off of one leg was insanity. Like, come on, bro. So look, I don't think objectively everybody would agree with that. Me personally, I would though. So let's for the objective standpoint, I don't think anybody's going to definitively take Melo over Curry. I'll give you that. Who you got next?
Hold on.
Shine.
You was talking. No. Clarity. He was talking about me and Greg Popovich, and you would take Melo over Steph Curry? That's blasphemy.
Go get him, dog. Go get him, dog.
What are we talking about right now? That's if you, bro. I have hard evidence. I got hard. You have literally nothing but just hopes and dreams. Ime will end up surpassing Greg Popovich by the end of when it's all. That's just it. I'm talking about a season, and as of right now, in real time. That what you just said is trying to forecast the future. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about who's performing at a higher level and who I'm taking right now. Melo. In a certain circumstance, higher stage, playoff, I just gave you this. Steph Curry, I'm giving it to him. what you said was utterly asinine, bro. It was just like I left Earth and just decided to speak alien language. Something crazy, bro. That's nowhere near the same thing, bro.
Bro,
do you have a rebuttal? Do you have an answer to what he's saying when you talking about Melo over Stephen? So we could get forward though.
Steph Curry, and it's not a question.
Okay, I just said it's not definitive objectively. Who we got next?
Shai Demetrius Gilchrist Alexander.
I personally like Melo game better, but people gonna take SGA over him for sure.
Agree.
Okay, are you saying SGA?
Yeah, SGA.
I already know you hate this person. Both of you do actually. I can't stand neither of you niggas for this, but he's still not. I'm still not.
Luka Doncic, come on, yeah. Luka got it. Come on.
Luka Doncic.
What?
Bro, word. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Are you for real? You said you would take Luka over Melo?
Yes, bro. Luka. You don't like Luka.
Yes.
I know. I told you, don't like Luka, bro. He just don't like Luka. But
I'm about to kick you off the show, dog. You tweaking, dog. Like at some point, your bias can't do this. That's ridiculous.
He's fat.
Hey, Darryl, you could never do that. H-Town finest. Bro, he's probably like this is y'all GOAT in a lot of ways, bro. James Harden was a fat nigga, bro, running it. So we can't do that to Luka, bro. You can't give me something else. You don't like his game. You can't say he fat though when your guy was fat.
No.
Absolutely.
Luka is fat. But listen, the problem that I have with Luka is that people give him the praise, but don't give him the scrutiny that he deserves just because he's young. He's James Harden. He's just a white James Harden. That's all he is. And
he's better.
He's better than James Harden already, though.
He's a better scorer. Luka's a better player than James Harden has ever been. James Harden was a historic scorer. Luka's a better player than James Harden has ever been. Holistically, not as a scorer, James Harden is one of the best scorers we've ever seen. I'm not disrespecting James. As a player, Luka is definitively better than James Harden.
Yeah,
I'm taking Melo over Luka. Personally. As you said, word, personally.
Yeah.
Personally,
give your personal. I think that's fair. We can give personal, but I'm trying to nail this down to objective. So, like you said, that's personal. I think objectively, people will take Luka over Melo. Yes, still right now.
So we got Luka, SGA, Steph so far.
Yep.
Now, this may be personal. We can debate this one. I'm not taking your boy LaMelo over Uncle Drew himself, Kyrie Irving. I'm not. You say what?
That's the one that get me a bit right there. You see what I'm saying? Let me say this. When I've seen Kyrie is a probably top 5 favorite player of mine all time. Easy. Game-wise, everything. But what I'm doing right now is looking at Kyrie when he had those Cleveland Cavaliers without LeBron, and I'm examining that.
In the playoffs, we ain't even got to go that far.
But hold on, I'm saying as far as being able to have that same green light, right? Those Cavaliers didn't have anything around them. Kyrie was still a shining star, but he wasn't equaling success to game success either. I'm looking at Melo. He's not having a much team success. But what he's doing for himself, his individual performance, I would say is outshining and outweighs what Kyrie was doing at that time. That's what I'm doing. Melo is playing, he's giving us 37 and 5. And he's getting buckets in ways that are just, like I said, reminiscent of what I felt like Curry was when he came on the scene. Very dynamic player. So in that sense, I'm going to take Melo at that point. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna stand on Kyrie, but you bringing that point up of Kyrie before Bron got to Cleveland, it actually makes me change my mind. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm taking Melo over Kyrie. I have to
right now.
Sentimental niggas. All right. Let's keep it moving. I'm tired of both of y'all.
Do you think? But hold on. Do you think? What do you think the world would say, objectively with that? Definitively, what would they?
No, right now, even me, right? Like I have to admit, O's right. I agree with O. I agree with you. I think that when I think about a young Irv before the championships, when he just had the green light and it was time for him to do what he was doing, was he doing quite what LaMelo was doing right now? He was not. I think if the world were to look at it apples to apples objectively, the way that you just broke it down, which I think was a very astute basketball analysis, I have no problem with what you're saying. I have to edge it to LaMelo, and I'll definitely do that, and I think the world would agree. That's not a problem. I ain't tripping with that. That's cool.
Who we got? Who this other cat?
The next one for me, I don't think it's as close as y'all are going to make it. I don't think it's close.
I already know who this. Go ahead, come on.
When these two dudes are at 100, I'm taking the other dude over LaMelo. Give me Ja Morant.
Oh yeah, I gotta go with Melo on that one. I have to go with Melo on that one, and it's not the hardest thing for me to do. I must say that.
How quickly niggas forget. The same Ja Morant that was leading this Memphis squad with nobody on it in the West, battling in the playoffs and in the semifinals and stuff like that. How quickly we forget. That nigga puts up some guns and does some things and takes a step back, and all of a sudden we forget this nigga can play. It's crazy to me because Ja Morant's trajectory before the gun charges, this nigga was literally the face of the NBA at one point. And now it's without a question LaMelo Ball. I'm not there. I remember, and as I'm watching Ja this year, I still remember. That nigga Ja's the truth, bro. I'm taking Ja Morant.
Ja's the truth. I'm not taking away from Ja, right? I'm not taking away from Ja. I don't necessarily agree he ain't have nobody around him in the sense that who Melo is playing with is nobody around him. Ja had brewing pieces that were just waiting to get tapped into and spawn into what their potential was. I don't necessarily see
Desmond Bain before Ja, though, bro. You wasn't I'm tapped into D.
But he had a veteran with Steven Adams. He had Jared Jackson. He had what was the dude that got injured, bro? He was a beast, but he got what was the cat, bro? Light skinned dude. I mean, he was a get it out the gutter type cat, bro.
Brandon Clark.
Yes, Brandon Clark. He had pieces, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't necessarily say it wasn't nothing over there that he took to the playoffs, that young squad. Ja was amazing, though. I don't know if Ja was still putting up these numbers that Melo was putting up right now, though. Ja ain't never give me 30 points per game where it looked like he can go 82 games giving me that.
Facts.
And here's the other thing. I'm big on games and how they're transcending over time. Melo game and the way he get buckets is easier and a little bit tougher for the guard than a Ja. What's the name? Is an above the rim type of player, Ja. Melo, because he has an endless amount of range in his bro. If he gets hot, it's almost unguardable and unstoppable. Now, Ja, I feel like you can agitate him, throw things his way that make his game a little bit harder for him to get to his bucket and spots. When I watch Melo, bro, it's a matter of if he's going to be in his own way or not. You see, that's about it when it comes to Melo. I don't fear Ja in the sense of that. And when somebody got a shot like Melo and guys like Curry, that's when I got to take the chains off of him and just start to get praise.
Clarity. Let me ask you this: do you think Ja Morant will ever reach the Derrick Rose prime?
I mean, that's rare air. Derrick Rose barely reached the Derrick Rose prime. And that was D Rose.
What are you talking about?
Bro, you get what I'm trying to say.
Derrick Rose barely reached the
look.
That was crazy work.
No, at the end of the day, rest in peace to my guy D Rose, bro. But that's just the reality, bro. D Rose was extra cold, but we only seen that for 2 years. So to say, can another guard get to that level? I mean, the guard who got to that level barely got to that level. That level was rare air. It's rare air, bro. I know. I'm gonna say
I believe Ja actually has. Like when you say that, what are you saying? Like statistically,
No, I'm trying to say at his peak, like that MVP season, do you feel that John Moran will ever get to that level of dominance? Because the point that I'm trying to get at is John Moran, we've seen this prototype before, and we've seen how far it could or can go. For someone like LaMelo, the same way that we talk about Wemby, he's a unicorn. We've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
Like you've never seen it. It is a matchup nightmare. This dude, what? LaMelo's like 6'7"?
Yeah.
It's like, how do you guard somebody like that? How do you guard somebody who's 6'7", who's shooting from the logo? Like come on, like that's the reason why I feel like honestly LaMelo and Ja, the comparison, they're really not close because of the physical attributes that LaMelo has. He's just something that we've never seen before.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. Because and here's the thing, bro. He's looking like how he was looking at. He still plays how he plays in high school, which we all know at that level, bro. You can, if you're the guy, you have green light to do anything and just go off, which he does he's doing it versus NBA grown men players, bro. And so, like, per him with any bit of talent, a 3 or 4 that's anything of anything, I think he's very much in the space of being a championship contender. He himself in a big market is just gonna explode. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already at that space where he just gotta get in the right place, bro. His game is there though. Like it's there.
Going to the Clippers. He going to the Clippers. LaMelo going to the Clippers.
I would hate that, but that's another. That mug is cursed. They had so much talent to go through the Clippers that never even sniff a ring. Them niggas might as well blow that shit up and throw it in a bag. That stuff over there is cursed. They have been one of the most between Philly and Clippers, bro. And here's the other thing. They both have had Doc fucking Rivers. That nigga inhales the best talent and does nothing with it, bro. All right, man. Did we make it to 5 PGs or what, bro?
We pretty much did, bro, because anybody else is more debatable than any of the guys that I mentioned. So if he's ahead of Kyrie, in y'all opinion, and he's clearly ahead of Ja, there's no reason to have a further discussion about this. We got to the end of it. That means y'all both will put LaMelo in your top 5. So we're good to go.
All right, man. That concludes the NBA basketball hoop segment, dog. We are now finna move to the music side of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of noise that's been going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the underworld has to come to overworld in this next segment. You hear me, dog? I feel like you only can come alive with this type of segment coming alive. If you don't know what we talking about, man, what was it, dog? A week and a half ago, GNX by none other than Compton's finest, Kendrick Lamar. Surprise album. I think we all was surprised, which I was still proud of because he announced that the album was going to be coming. I don't know if he announced, but it was rumors, speculation that he'll be dropping before the end of the year. I'm looking at the clock like, bro, we about to approach the last month in the year. And sure enough, we got GNX, man. It's a 12 records. It is overwhelmingly a West Coast inspired project, to say the least. And yeah, man, how we feeling about it? Immediate reactions. Before we get into that, though, just want to name kind of where it landed on the charts in the first week units. I believe it was upwards of 319, 320-ish K in the first week. To remind cats, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers did 295. So it was an uptick in that. When the first reports came out of what it was charted to do or reported to do in projections, it was 290. But the lawsuits from Drizzy, Drake, Rogers came out, which we'll get to following this segment. And suddenly the numbers spiked even more. Which, you know, if you're a Drake fan or stan, I don't understand what he's doing by being somewhat of a supplement to the Kendrick noise that already exists. But I definitely think the spike in numbers had something to do with that news that came out. And then today, the records or the charts came out with the Billboard 100. I think he had the first 5 slots on the Billboard 100. Squabble Up going number 1, which makes it his 5th number 1 single. Big news for that. And then it was followed up by TV Off and a couple other records. And he had about 5 to 6, 7 records in the top 10. So that's the success of it, man. How do we feel about this album, bro? What were some of y'all immediate reactions? And just go from there, my G's.
I felt like the album was great. I mean, I don't really think that there's anything else that one can say as far as like an objective standpoint. I think out of a lot of it, especially coming off of Mr. Morale, this was a very easy on the ears album. And I would say I was kind of proud of Kendrick for kind of turning the tide in a sense. I don't want to say making it more commercially digestible, but it's an easier album to listen to. It's not so heavy. It's not like you feel like you're eating a steak, I would say. I feel like he did a good job as far as, making the album a lot more commercially digestible. So all in all, I thought it was a good listen.
Got you. That's pretty handsome comment you gave your boy Kendrick there. Is that you all right over there? Were you in Compton when you heard it or something or what?
Listen,
goons or Compton goons around you aimed at your head right now or something? Or what?
No. I'm from the southeast side of Houston. What they talking about, bro? LA don't ever want to play with us.
All right, yeah. I'm going to have to take this out. He trying to get niggas caught in the streets with that bullshit, boy. I have no smoke with anybody anywhere. I'm good everywhere. I don't have no smoke.
I ain't saying I have smoke. Look, the point that I'm trying to get at with Kendrick, listen, everybody knows I'm the biggest Drake fan in the world, but what I've come to realize is, and this is honestly what will forever put Kendrick in that, 2 to 3 seat for me, is he'll never get judged or critiqued the same way that we judge or critique Drake. So at the end of the day, like, Kendrick is a phenomenal musician. He's a phenomenal rapper. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But it's just unfair for me to try to critique him the same way that we critique the greatest person to ever step behind the mic. So that's just...
Look at Kitty. He don't even want to answer the GNX. He want to debate that now. That was just too far of a reach for you right there. What you think, my G? It look like you stepping in your Cortezes over there right now with that plaid you got on.
He about to start sea walking.
He died. It's got wild, man. How we feeling about it?
Yeah, so that's funny as hell. So I did a little exercise when y'all were talking, because I think it's important. Like, when I think about albums of this magnitude, how many records can I name off top without looking at the track list that had an impact on me? So we're talking about 12 records. I got 7 written down, right? Those 7 out of the 12, I'm really rocking with heavy. He could have kept the rest. So, and that's just me being fair, right? Like, I'm somebody who really, really likes Kendrick, but I'm just being fair, right? I do agree that it was an easier listen for the general public. It wasn't quite Damn, because I think Damn is his easiest listen. But it was like a lot of these records, him and SZA make magic every time. You put them two on a record, it's what I want to hear every day. So I'm thinking about records like Luther, for sure. I know there's mixed opinions about TV Off, but let me just say this to provide a level of clarity for people who hated TV Off. I got an opportunity, and I get an opportunity to sit in the studio with artists who do it at a pretty high level. And there's an artist I know personally. He's on the Christian side. I would sit in the studio with him, and I would wonder why he would create songs the way that he created. Like, there would be moments in the song that I just didn't understand. I was like, when I play this back, when I listen to this in the car, like, this doesn't sound as enjoyable as it could, because it feels like it's almost like you're not thinking about the record. And he told me, he said, bro, I used to think about it from that standpoint too, before I started doing stadiums. And when I started doing stadiums, it changed the way that I wrote music. And so what you hear is like almost incomplete or thrown off, or a part that doesn't make sense to you as an artist and as a listener. When I get in front of that crowd that does stadiums and I say that part or I do that thing, that moment is going to be just as big, if not bigger, than the record itself. And when I think about TV Off, people, getting on the whole mustard thing, and that's taking on a level of its own. And it sounds crazy maybe to just play it. But then I started thinking about the time that I'm telling you guys about now, about what that artist told me. And I said, I can only imagine though, when he gets to that part when the beat switch comes in and he says mustard. Imagine a crowd or a sea of 80,000 people saying that all at one point. Like, to me, that moment makes that moment in the record that can sometimes can some and in some ways be an ear sore. It now turns that into a magical moment. And so I think Kendrick understands music in a way that is thrown off to some, but is perfect to others and is perfect for setting. He's created himself another anthem in certain records that, and other things. So I'm thinking about like TV Off. I'm thinking about Whacked Out Morals, how he started the project. I would have loved a little bit more of that throughout the duration. But I understand that he had to give the West Coast a body of work, and I'm glad he did that for them. Reincarnated, his approach on Tupac. There's only one Pac, but I loved his approach. Thought it was amazing. Gloria, he talks about his pen. So there's a bunch of Squabble Up, of course. I like that record, but I only heard 15 seconds of it in the beginning of the Not Like Us video. So I knew I was going to like that record when it dropped. So I say all that to say, solid project. I think that knowing the creative that Kendrick is, though, this feels like, here, take this for now. Take it. This is what I got. Like, out of all the records that I can create an album with, this is in that pile that this is decent enough to put out, but not like what I'm actually working on. So while y'all say I don't drop music, let me feed y'all real quick. I'll be back with something more in depth, something more me. But this is what y'all kind of been asking for. Take that. That's what it feels like. And for me to say that, I still get the project about a 7. With that being the context in mind for me. So that's how I feel about the project as a whole. 7 records out of 12 I'm really rocking with. There's probably 2 more records that I think are solid, and then there's probably 2 records that I hate. So yeah, all in all, project's a 7. Memorable moments, master approach. I feel like as always, that's kind of where I leave the album.
Yeah, man. That was a lot, man. Sounds like you feeling pretty good about that takeover.
Bro, why were
the
we
reason
doing
why
stuff like that,
the
bro?
reason why I'm buttering you niggas up, pause, man, is because I'm totally on the opposite end of the spectrum, dog. Just keeping it a bean. If anybody follows me or whoever's out there, and I've put out my deep dive and hard take on this album, and it's probably almost been about 10 days or so, maybe almost 2 weeks. And much of my opinion hasn't changed. My immediate reaction or my immediate real time conflict was my disconnect with West Coast music as a whole. So it's not even something that's exclusive to Kendrick. I just think with the drilling of Not Like Us all summer long up into this album release, I was not looking for no more records, songs, album to remind me of anything like that. To be quite frank. So that was all. That's already the pretense going into this album, not knowing that it was going to be West Coast though. So if I went in knowing, right, if I went in to this album knowing that West Coast music was coming, I probably go into it way less anticipating of anything that was anti-West Coast. You know what I mean? I was thinking energy that would reflect something like DNA, backseat freestyle, just a different Kendrick. Because we honestly, throughout the entire rap beef in the feud, I never actually felt like we actually got pinnacle peak lyrical Kendrick. That rap beef was a matter of antics and who can just smut somebody's name the best, if you ask me honestly. And sometimes beef, rap battles, and battle rap comes to that. So I'm not saying that's not a tactic that can win. It's just when I thought we were going to get MC versus MC, we would get something different. So I'm saying that all that to say it's going into this album, and when I received what I got, it was a huge disconnect, just noticing that the direction of this album was going to be West Coast. And because I was trying to figure out, like, have I ever sat down and listened to a full-fledged West Coast album from anybody, period? Like, and it wasn't like a historical study of mine. You know what I mean? Like I went back and did research and studied eras of music, and I'm listening to it with a different perspective of like, I'm studying this for the history of music. It wasn't for a new release or entertainment or enjoyment. So in real time, I've never done that. Like when I listed the people I rock with from the West Coast, including Kendrick, him being not really a West Coast sounding artist, or Nipsey Hussle or The Game, all those guys don't really really resonate with West Coast sound, the E40s or the YGs or the DJ Mustards. That's what even like, you know, the Eazy-E's and all those guys. That stuff is what I consider West Coast, but the guys I gravitated to never really did that. So it created a huge problem with me, bro. And because I'm like, bro, if you look at my reaction, bro, I'm laughing more than I'm enjoying. Like, and let's just keep it a bean. Like my humor, and I even said this, bro, my humor is probably off the wall compared to a lot of other people. But when it comes to music, that's definitely a secondary thing. I'm not looking to laugh at all. I'm looking to be impressed by the music, to see what's on here, to see if it's gonna be a dope album or not, and to just listen from that space and angle. So when it wasn't that, you know, I tried to just finish the album and get through it, which I did. I didn't skip anything. And there were moments that I actually enjoyed, like Man at the Garden. That's a record I overwhelmingly love. Reincarnated, overwhelmingly love. Like these are the records that I felt like reflected who I know Kendrick to be and the caliber that he usually releases at. And the one thing I don't like to do or come off as is a rapper should stay doing what they're best at. I'm actually totally against that. I like the risk takers. I like the people that push the envelope. I like the people that move the needle in a different direction you don't expect it. Hence the Tory Lanez doing an 80s pop album. Hence Drake doing a house album. Hence Chris Brown turning himself into an Afrobeat artist overnight. All these versions of people I love that aren't really their home sound. So I'm all for that. It was just more so, bro, like specifically West Coast, I have a disconnect with that genre in that portion of music. And then Not Like Us, it was just OD. Like it was just a hard listen to try to get through. But I rated it a 6 out of 10. It's not, I don't think it's unlistenable. I think it's for who it's for, and they probably have a totally different opinion than I do. But from where I sat, I came away immediately saying it wasn't for me. So I thought overall though, it still did good on the charts, the number wise. I think that's solid. He got a number one out of it. I think at minimum he got 2 hits, Squabble Up and TV Off are the ones I'm giving him. Which the ones that charted the highest. And I did say in the real time reaction, this feels like something else would still be coming after this. And that wasn't, and it's not in the sense that what he dropped isn't good enough. I just think it's a little out of rhythm from him and what he's on this quest to accomplish. That's not what you accomplish. You don't accomplish what I think he's trying to with that album. I think you accomplish other things like the putting on for West Coast, hence all these unknown West Coast artists that we got exposed to on his album. But I think it's a bigger picture at play that still can be coming. But I think this album did have a lot of mixed emotions and mixed bag reviews, as expected when you got that album. So
I will say from a message standpoint, this is probably the first album from Kendrick that I feel like holistically it didn't really give that much of a clear direction as far as what he's trying to get at. Whereas you look at A Pimp a Butterfly, you look at a Damn, like Kendrick has really been known to put together these great bodies of work. And I feel like as far as when you look at this album holistically compared to the rest of his discography, I'm not comparing him to the rest of the field. It just felt like the direction or the ultimate message he was trying to get across was kind of, for me, a little unclear. So that is one critique I'll give it, but I mean,
yeah. And I think, and honestly though, it's a unique project to process and digest for everybody. I even believe that for Kendrick Lamar fans the most, because I think I do get a sense that Kendrick Lamar fans have a sense of, I don't think they expected this, but though we got it, we're still trying to digest it or have it at the level as the other records in his discography. And I think that's being ingenuine, because I think you have to distinguish a Damn, a To Pimp a Butterfly, in a good kid, Mad City, and know that the caliber and quality that exists on them projects are vastly higher than what we got on this.
So I know it's early. But if you guys had to rank GNX as far as the rest of his discography, where would you put it?
It's at the bottom, no question, for sure. It just is what it is. It just is what he's Kendrick, and I don't necessarily know if that's that's a hard critique. It's just the reality because his catalog is that. You know what I mean? It's high caliber. So, it's sometimes like what a lot of people think about Drake. Like we had a going back and forth about Certified Lover Boy. You were saying it was at the bottom, but you feel like, it's still good to a lot of Drake fans. I necessarily don't agree, but when you have a strong catalog, your worst album still, in comparison to others, could be something that's, presentable.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think that Kendrick damn near has given us 4 classic albums. So to drop this was kind of like, oh, this can't be what's anticipated to come. This has to be what you're giving us, and that's the difference. Like, as a Kendrick fan, I do like how you said that. I do like how you said that now. Yeah, for sure. And I'll go this far. Like, people don't like Mr. Morale as much, and I get why. First of all, if I'm just being honest, it's a deep album. Like, you go back and listen to Mr. Morale, you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to sit down and digest looking at my past, being introspective, dealing with childhood trauma in the car. I'm cool. Like let me take some time before we start talking like that. So I get that Mr. Morale is not going to be the easiest listen for folks. It's a better album than a lot of people give it credit for, and I think as time goes by, it will elevate in his catalog. This will not. So, like,
I feel like the season. I feel like in a different season, this album would have been received totally different. If it was released closer to the Not Like Us release, and we were in that season of this is like we're in the middle of, especially depending on where you are. I'm in St. Louis, bro. It's 20 degrees outside. Like, it's snowing. It doesn't feel like the music of the now. You know what I mean? Some music could come out anytime. But if you release this closer to the release of Not Like Us, being that it's mirroring that sound, and we're not waiting for something else after that battle, I think it's received totally different. It's not many harsh critiques. I think it's a different thing.
Well, could a potential of this be because I don't want to say for one of the first times, but Kendrick usually is not this active. We usually don't get this much of Kendrick really within any time frame. So is it a sense of maybe we've kind of had enough? Like, for the first time we've actually had, or he's fed us a lot. So in a sense, like, maybe we're just getting a little bit bored of his sound, because I feel like that's what's happened with some Drake fans. They feel like he pumps us with so much music, it almost becomes hard for you to really enjoy it the same way that you enjoyed that Take Care album, because it's so much. You know what I'm trying to say?
Nah, first of all, a couple of things to what you just said. Number one,
this is where he's ready to make an insurgence right here. Watch this. Here we go. Watch this.
First of all, number one, bro, let me just say this. If Drake was still making Take Cares, we never get bored of that. Let's just keep it 100. Absolutely.
I'm with that.
Drake hasn't made a Take Care in a long time. We need to be real about that. And in the same way, let me critique the other guy too. This is a drop. This is a step down from what he normally creates as well. And that's why we're not clamoring for it, right? So, like, I think that's just a reality. Now, I also think it's not a sound issue, because the sound Kendrick Lamar's given us on this is vastly different than anything he's put out up until very recently. And I think I don't think I'm overreaching by saying this. I think if we just deal with context clues, we can all agree. Kendrick feels a level of indebtedness and a level of responsibility. He said it in lyrics, he said it recently, etc., of putting the West Coast back on, or at least putting the West Coast on his back. So I don't believe Kendrick sat in the studio and said, let me make my next great album. I believe he's been sitting in the studio saying, how can I put the West on? Like, more than ever, the West is being propagated, looked at, pushed in a way it hasn't been in a very long time. How can I take this momentum and use it for a coast that oftentimes gets neglected in hip hop at this moment in time? All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some locals. I'm gonna get some beats that are representative of our sound and the music that plays out where we stay. And I'm gonna present it for the world while I got the world's eyes on me right now. And I'm gonna give them this project. I don't think I'm reaching saying that. I don't think I'm looking for an excuse. I think that's just what it is. He wants to see the West in a resurgence there. He wants people to know and be aware about their music. From the pop-out show to to that show being completely all West Coast with West Coast sounds and music we've never heard before to this album, he has an agenda that he's trying to get across. And that agenda makes people be like, this is cool. This is not what we're used to from you, but this is cool. This is cool. And we'll embrace it, especially while you got the juice right now. As long as you don't forget us when it's time to give us another whatever that project is. And I think as long as he delivers on that, he'll be fine. But this project, if I'm being objective, day one, I was really hyped, feeling a lot of the records. When I come back to it after stepping away, I go, oh, some of this is still gold to me, but more sober-minded, he's got a lot of room here to get back to where I'm accustomed seeing him from a song creation standpoint. So I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Yeah, man, that pretty much kind of wraps up that album, bro. I think it'll be, one of his albums that'll have one of the shorter flashes in the pan, so to speak. I don't think it'll be around too long, especially, and that's the other thing. Like, if we are right about him coming with another record, that's the record and the album, this will be quickly forgotten. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be. The one thing I was surprised, which I don't know why he didn't capitalize on, was putting Not Like Us on the actual album. Like, I feel like that raises this record in his discography. It at least staples the moment to this record. Not Like Us just kind of lives. That's the one thing I don't like about like back to back. Like, it's just a Lucy. Like, you can throw these records on anything, like as they always do. We've seen this plenty of times, but that's just nitpicking. But anyways, man. In that same window of time, of the week of the release of the Kendrick Lamar GNX album, we got Drake filing a petition last Monday. I believe it was actually in the New York courts of law, where Drake has launched a legal attack against his own record label, UMG. And Spotify, which he is basically claiming allegedly they conspired together and boosted Not Like Us in ways that would basically take up any space that he may exist in as an artist and harming what would not organically happen without this conspiring of two powerful entities coming together to boost his record, make it go viral. You had instances where they said they even paid certain influencers and wired Siri to bring up Not Like Us. If you said play Certified Lover Boy, it was all these instances that lended in real time. Like, now looking at it in hindsight, like, you was like, bro, what the heck is going on? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I said that, bro. I said, yo, this is almost seeming like it's another force at work. It didn't seem. It just didn't. And let me bring a little context to that. The moment was big. It was. The record, though, right? As far as what we received in that record, the quality, just the replay value, I didn't think it garnered or demanded the way it was being spun that we experienced over this course of time. I mean, it was just an abnormal amount of like, why is it even being played at this moment? You know what I mean? Like, to the point where Stephen Curry is on the court and you could see the frustration in his face, and like even the Siri moments. Like, why is it coming up when I'm typing in an artist that has nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar? Not even a similar sounding. Like, I know how the DSPs work. Like, similar artists come up. If you listen to this type of artist that reminds you or has similar, But it was just too many instances where I look back now in hindsight, like, yo, I remember feeling like there were other forces that was in play to make this record bigger than what it really is. Because I always thought it was a parody, honestly. I keep saying that, which is what I think about a lot of this stuff that came out. But the A minor, you have a big moment like that, you're saying these things, and you have a moment and the record goes big, but I didn't think it deserved that. But to continue on what else happened, that happened Monday. Tuesday, he files a second petition, right? Where he alleges the label was paying for radio promotion through iHeartRadio. I believe in that same petition, it was claims of defamation of character, things of that nature. And all this came in the same window of time of the GNX release, which a lot of the urban world, hip hop culture responded to this news in a way that wasn't in favor of Drizzy, Drake Rogers. It's a lot of people, I think, in the moment's notice of the release of the information, I think they had hard takes of like, he's automatically seen as a cornball. He's automatically seen as, why would he do this? It's been plenty of records in this. Historically, this has always happened. You can't go and call the feds or call the police, is what people are throwing around in the midst of a war that a lot of people feel you started, right? And they also had the other angle of saying, if you feel that it was certain practices and exercises being done to fabricate the sales of Not Like Us, don't you think these same tactics and exercises and practices was happening as well for your own records, being that y'all are label mates, which is a valid thing to come across and say as well for his career. So with all that being said, bro, the one question I did have though was like, these are petitions. I don't know where y'all are with that. What is the process with it becoming a lawsuit versus it being a petition as it sits right now?
Yeah, so the way that a petition works, from what I've researched and understand, is basically Drake and his team asking for information, because they're saying that we've heard, or we have an inclination, or we've gotten some, insider information from people who maybe worked at the label to make us believe that what we're saying is true. So they're trying to make the petition that they need information from UMG or from Spotify so that they could decide if they want to move forward on actually taking this to court. That's my understanding as far as what the petition is about. Got you.
And the response that UMG gave once this news came out was they would do anything to undermine. They wouldn't do anything to undermine any of their artists, and it's offensive and untrue. And they basically were saying fans choose the music they want to hear, which is true. But I definitely believe labels also assist and do things to convince in ways or persuade people to listen to things more. It's just honestly, it ain't even just in music. That's just business across the board. That's just what it is. But in a certain realm where these certain practices are illegal, I think this is where Drake is coming at them at with this lawsuit and petition. So what is y'all take? I know I said like hip hop culture, they looking at Drake a certain way. You got a light-skinned biracial Jewish guy, right? This is you gotta say all that when you talking about Drizzy though, because I want people to keep in mind who we're talking about and how we should proceed, how we perceive them. You know what I'm saying? Like I want that to be in mind while we're talking about what we're talking about. So, like I said, many people he was a cornball. How can a nigga do like this after a battle that he pretty much kind of started? And how don't you think that this wouldn't blow back in your face, being that you're on the same label, and this can also expose what you got going on with your music?
Pause first. Blow back in your face is crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy work, but
how we feeling, man?
Honestly, hip hop can say whatever they want because this is past hip hop. This is past rap. Like Drake is And this is one thing that hip hop and rap has actually failed to do, which has to do with a lot of the sassiness and the spice that he has whenever it comes to interacting with people within the industries, because Drake has surpassed rap and hip hop a long time ago. It's him and Taylor is what I'm trying to get at. It's him and Taylor Swift in the music industry. Those are the two who honestly keep the lights on. Listen, I forgot the individual's name, but a really big music executive was on Joe Budden's interview, and he was talking. He's the owner of Gamma, and he was talking about how Drake's catalog alone, his catalog is worth more than all of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s combined. So when we're talking about this, when Drake is talking about this petition, it's so much deeper than a beef with Kendrick Lamar, because Drake is honestly trying to do something that will change music forever. Because if UMG doesn't please him, Spotify could never exist. That's the type of power that this individual has. If Drake, listen, a lot of people were really curious. A lot of people were curious about that 100 gigs. What Drake was trying to do was he was trying to show the music labels, I can go direct to consumer. Y'all don't think that UMG felt a type of way that their artists put out all of this content direct to consumer, not through them? See, and honestly, and once again, I will say this, Klarity. I know that you're very tapped into music, but once again, this is past music. This has everything to do with business and power, which is what Drake is trying to fight for right now. So I feel like, honestly, this petition, it's another 10 to 15 layers deeper as far as what Drake is trying to get at. So that's what I see.
I feel that.
You know.
Oh, come on. Oh, my God.
It's not that anything that you said was wrong. It's not. Let me just first of all say that. You actually said a lot that's true there, for sure. That really can't be argued. But it's niggas like you, man. It's niggas like you that make this conversation hard, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you believe that Drake wants to be a hero of the music industry and change the dynamics and do something that no one has ever done before, and I wanna actually do, no, that's none of this has anything to do with that. We're not talking about, and this is what I tried to explain to somebody. We're not talking about like what this will do for people. That's one thing. Like what it will do for people is one thing. We're talking about
the head adjustment is everything.
Yeah, we're talking about like why you're doing a thing.
Right. So
sometimes when you see dudes, this is why we used to hate cats who had the savior complex in the neighborhood. Anybody who grew up poor, they used to, or something like that, or you grew up in the inner city, it was real hard, whatever the case may be. There would be sometimes these people that come down from like the Presbyterian church and stuff like that. And it'd be like some white folks, and they would come in droves, and they would drop off pans of food, and they would drop off resources and supplies and all this other stuff, right? And the people who were really in need would really appreciate it, but you would see their faces, and it's like, if somebody didn't know what was going on, like if I just took that snapshot, if you just dropped me in from another time period and was able to witness that, you would almost be like, man, how could these people not be eternally grateful for what this group of people is doing? Like, they get to eat, they get backpacks, they get soap and supplies, all the stuff that the hood doesn't have. They should be like on their knees thanking these people for coming into this neighborhood, making this type of impact for them, because otherwise, if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have it. But the problem is, the same people who are bringing this food, they're not doing it out the kindness of their hearts. If you look real close, you see about 6 or 7 cameramen across the street. You see another 2 behind the people as they're serving food. This is a photo op for them. They don't give a damn about the people they're serving. They don't care about the community. They don't care that the people that they're feeding are actually getting resources and that this is their real life. For them, this is like, give us our moment to look pious, to look charitable, to look A, B, and C. He's not going and getting this inquiry and looking to see the receipts because he feels like some great injustice is happening to artists. That will be a byproduct. That will be a byproduct of what happens if he somehow gets any legs in the suit. But what he's actually doing is being a sore loser and a hoe. Drake is a hoe for this. No. Let's not stop any blows or punches. Drake is a hoe, bro. Like, he's mad that all of a sudden he's suing for, or he's looking at this for damages and defamation and stuff like that. Bro, you literally said that this man is a wife beater and all this other stuff, domestic disputes and all of that. But now defamation has come to your name because the one thing he said about you, about being a pedophile, has stuck. If Drake would have won this battle, he's not suing UMG no matter what Kendrick Lamar said. The fact that he didn't is the reason why he's over there getting litigation involved. So let's not get it twisted to make it seem like, or to try to reframe this as some type of win beyond the music. It's beyond the music industry. No, Drake is a hoe, and Drake don't like to lose. And at this point, the impact of this song and the impact of what has happened has gotten under his skin enough to do something about it from a litigation perspective. And the music industry and those who are artists and other people who may benefit from this lawsuit may receive those benefits. But just like the story I told, we see the cameras in the back. We see the people documenting this so that y'all look good. Like, this is not, you're not doing this as any way charitable or bigger than the music industry. You are doing it for yourself. So as long as we frame it that way, what you said about the effects and what it actually does as this effect is one thing, and that I can agree with you with. But the reason he's doing it is the reason why the public backlash exists. And hip hop is not somehow stupid or ignorant or making something out of nothing. No, they recognize that this individual is truly what Kendrick Lamar said. He's truly not like us. He don't come from that cloth. He's truly Canadian. He's truly Jewish. He's truly like, he don't come from that cloth that we really know. That's not where he come from. Now, the effect will happen. God bless us for that. And now, if he does win, I'm always a supported artist.
Let me come in right where you talking, right? Because this is really I wasn't finna lean into this. I believe what you're saying. There were many people that fit that description, and there were many people that come from, suburban areas. The whole illustration you gave, they don't know the struggle. They're coming there for a photo op. They want to look like a certain, put on a certain image. Cool. If we didn't have a runway of 15 years of Drake putting on the music business as a whole on his back, and I mean not in ways that only benefited him, I mean everybody, dudes that shouldn't even deserve probably a shot. You see what I'm saying? Because you talking about a cat that's just coming to do stuff solely for himself. Bro, we're talking about, this is the same nigga, bro, where he just can charge anybody probably $1 million a bar. Yeah, I said it. $1 million a bar, not a feature or a verse. We talking about like you know how DJ Khaled get on records and he don't ever be rapping but just be talking.
He's worth the $1 million bar.
Like Drake can give out.
Drizzy's worth the $1 million bar.
Yeah, and I'm saying he forgoes. He gives clearances and does things for people free of charge. That's out of the elevation. Hold on, let me rock. I know you don't like how it's rocking right now, but let me rock though. I'm just trying to tell you, we have too much of a runway of evidence, and that's what I'm about. When you make claims and you saying anything, I need hard receipts. That was my biggest problem and issue with the pedophile thing, right? I'm jumping ahead, but that was my main thing. And that's one of the things that when you throw on anybody name in any space, that automatically, true or not, is going to have us forever look at you differently, right? I'm just keeping it a beat. It's plenty women beaters that have came out and surpassed and beat the image of how we once seen them, true or not, right? But the pedophile thing is it's unmatched. You really can never shake that. You see what I'm saying? And this is probably the cleanest guy in all. He's been the LeBron James of rap with how clean and polished he's been, even though he's staying next to the grimiest, right? But back to what I was saying, bro. If we don't go with the angle of he's doing this for a certain photo op or a certain image or for himself selfishly, right? If we're going to say that, there's too many things and ammunition to rebuttal that would dismiss that as a thing for him to be solely. I think partially some of that can be true, right? I don't necessarily think Drizzy is doing this from a heroic standpoint, right? But to think that it's solely how you're describing it to be, like this is almost premeditated. It's almost how you're trying to illustrate this to be. I think this is just a reactive thing. This not like us came out. The timing is the one thing in the space where I think is valid. I don't understand his timing of when he came out and did this. I think it always is going to come. But he has now a sample size of the effects of the Drake brand before the pedophile Not Like Us claims and afterward. How am I looking? I've put out records. I've done things. And he's seeing the effects. He's seeing the way people have turned or how they see or how they once were with him or seen him and how they now see him is different. So when you're talking about, this is why I agree with O when he say this is more than music matters. If anything, and honestly, bro, if you're in the industry and know anything about music, it's 90%, probably 95% business now and 5% talent, if that. That's just keeping it a beat. And when you at the highest of levels of a Drizzy, I mean, you gotta protect everything as an asset before anything else. And that's what I feel like he's doing. And honestly, when you look at, and this is the reason why I brought up, he's a biracial Jewish guy from Canada, Toronto. We can't look at him and perceive him as if he's actually like us, right? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with I actually agree with the message that he's not like Kendrick. He's not like urban culture. As much as he's done for it or hip hop culture, we've never fully accepted him. We never have, even though he's done way more than the cats that came from the culture, right? From a standpoint of uplifting the genre, making it the biggest genre in the 21st century, literally. This is facts, cold facts. We don't like it, but it's true. And he's been the catalyst to make that happen and make that a reality for where it is. So all these things we can throw at him and cast these stones at him, bro. We can't turn our eye and act as if like we don't have 15 years of what this dude has done to then see him one way just because of one act or lawsuit or petition or two, and then neglect the other things that we've seen this dude. I mean, I don't even want to go down there. Like the Drake effect and the Drake stimulus package now has designated documents showing careers prior to him touching them, pause, and after. And Kendrick Lamar is at the top of that list of the effect. He's probably been the biggest beneficiary of that effect. Now, I'm not discrediting his contribution to that, but I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just keeping it a bean.
No. But I want to ask one question. Clarity. Tell me what other megastar had the same allegation poised against him? What other mega star had the same allegations poised against him? It's a question.
Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. Go ahead. You want one more?
No, the first one. And who does Drake always refer to himself as?
Michael. Yeah. Ironic.
Word.
But yeah.
Word. Start dropping them gunshots. Because
Wait. You better be careful. Where you go next is going to matter.
No. Because I'm about to put you on game. As I've said,
please,
this was never about music. This was about business. In the same way that Drake has been saying, he's been telling us this for the last 10 plus years, who he's trying to come after. He ain't trying to come after HOU. He's not trying to come after Nas. He's not trying to come after Biggie. He ain't trying to come after Pac. He coming after Mike. And that's not just from the musical standpoint, that's from the business standpoint. In the same way that the music industry tried to get Mike out of here because he had what? Too much power. He had too much ownership. And that's the same thing that Drizzy is coming for. That's the same reason why he's having this beef or this petition with UMG. This got nothing to do with Kendrick. I'm trying to tell people this for some time because one thing that rap and hip hop does that bothers me, with me being the biggest Drake fan in the world, we love to look at a lot of our stars like Jay-Z and we like to give them the benefit of the doubt because we say, hey, look, you the greatest to ever do it. You can say whatever you want to say. Look, you Jay. But we don't ever say the same for Drake. We talking about, as Word just said, for the last 15 years. For the last 15 years, he's literally given our whole industry the fuel that is needed to burn the flame. And we still don't give him the respect that he deserves. So at the end of the day, Drake don't care about none of y'all. And to even add on top of that, y'all talking about, oh, he not like us. He ain't really from the streets. Bro, hip hop don't really even care about the streets because if they did, then an individual like 6ix9ine wouldn't have had the whole entire hip hop industry rocking for a year or two. If they really cared about the streets, the individuals still wouldn't be streaming Gunna. They still wouldn't be going to Gunna's concerts, and they still wouldn't be giving his album the praise that they do because at the end of the day, hip hop and the streets are separated. They're not one and the same. They can't. You have to separate the two. And if you are a hip hop artist and you're in the streets, get out, or else you're gonna get a RICO just like they did the other boys. So come on, like what are they?
He just went nuts. Now I ain't giving advice to street niggas. You got to. I don't know. I may have to cut that stuff out. Yeah, we can't talk to them street niggas like that.
No, if you're a musical artist, first of all, get out of the streets. First of all, well, the cops are gonna come and get you. I'm trying to help black people. I'm serious. Like if you're a musical artist, stop doing street stuff because they're gonna come and find you. Go ahead.
Nah, I rock with it.
I respect it though, and let me say this too, bro. Like, well said, right? So I'm not. Some of the points you made, that I'm not disagreeing from that standpoint. Let me say this. I don't make hip hop synonymous with the streets, and I don't think you got to be a street nigga to be a part of hip hop culture. I think what hip hop is requiring though is a level of authenticity. You want to know why people appreciate Eminem? Because he knows his place, and Eminem had a love for a culture that he knew he wasn't a part of. He was a guest in a culture, and he accepted that guest ticket, and he sat down in the guest seat, and he never tried to do anything outside of being a guest, and one of the greatest guests we've ever received.
When has Drake not been authentic? When has Drake not been authentic? When has he not been authentic?
Who?
Drake. When has he not been authentic? Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you.
It's a lot of evidence to support that. I can.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll allow, because we're pressed for time, I'll allow Word to educate you on Drake's non-authenticity. I think there's a lot of evidence for that. Cool. As far as Drake's impact, don't get me wrong, and I say this every time. I'm actually not a Drake hater, bro. I think Drake is one of the best things that have ever happened to music. This is not like somebody talking about Drake who doesn't also love Drake. I'm objective about Drake. I don't make excuses for Drake. And I tell the truth about Drake when sometimes as fans, we want to just act like certain things don't happen with Drake that we know have happened with Drake. Before
if Drake would have dropped Peekaboo on the album, the whole entire internet would be going crazy right now. You don't rate the two the same. What are you talking about?
Hey. I absolutely rate those two the same. And let me say this. I hate Peekaboo. And I'll be 100% clear. I said there's a few songs in that album I hate. That is absolutely one of them. Don't. You're talking to the wrong dude. If you want to talk to the culture and say that, cool. I'm not that guy who's going to be like, oh yeah, everything Kendrick does is gold. No. You put out some trash, it's trash, brother. I'm not here to shake nobody's hand on that level. What I'm saying to you is this though. As Drake is concerned, we're not talking necessarily about his contribution. Here's what I mean by when I talk about Drake, here's what I mean. Here's what I think is the problem. The problem is you're saying this is bigger than music. I think Word in another way is arguing that this is bigger than music. I have a simple question for y'all, and I think we can even move on after this question. Would we be getting any type of litigation request from Aubrey, Drizzy, Drake, Rogers, Graham, if Not Like Us did not have the impact in which it did in this battle? Would he be still looking to do something or to be moving toward a power play of this magnitude with litigation involved, suing UMG, who is not like your cousin's barbershop or some small business, but one of the biggest entertainment industries and music groups in music, if not the biggest? Would he be doing that? Would he be trying to usurp power in this way if he were not on the losing end of his brand? If the answer was no, then my point of self-preservation, which if we take the statement self-preservation and me calling him selfish and not doing this for the reasons you guys are talking about, my point stands if the answer is no. But if you guys sit here and tell me to my face on this podcast,
I think that
he would have still been suing UMG had he not taken a hit to his brand, I will shut up, be quiet, and we can move on to something else or close the show. That's what I'm at with.
So my answer to that, it's a nuanced way that has to be answered. You should know about nuance. You do master classes on that. Absolutely. And the reason I say that is because I believe the reason why it would happen would be different, and it wouldn't be publicly. It wouldn't be something we would know about. I feel like these conversations in the discomfort with Drake, his contract, and his label have been existing. If you think about recently, it was only a couple years ago when he was a free agent, negotiated back into a deal. I think it was like 4 or 5 albums for like $400 million. And at that time, it was so much around the speculation of like, man, that deal was crazy. Nobody has seen something like that. But I think in a lot of this stuff, I have to say allegedly, or it's been speculation, it's things, but some of it is from having insight on how the industry is ran and just how the market resets. And as you grow and you get more access to bigger sums of money, other things in your contract, you learn and gain information. And with that information, you now can come back to that table with more leverage and knowing how to do what it is to put yourself in a better position. So I think, yes, something of the sorts would have happened. I don't think it would have been overnight like us, of course, because he would have never took a hit, or his brand would have not been what it was, or he wouldn't have to come out and say that. But I think him trying to either go, because it's been so many conversations around him. Is he trying to go independent? Is he trying to go to a different place where he has a different distributor or house between, I think, Sony or Warner and UMG is like the biggest pieces on the board. So I feel like something of the sorts was coming down the pipeline because he puts out music at a different rate. Every year, he's the highest streaming artist of all music, encompassing Taylor Swift in that. Like, we're talking about streaming at this point. So the amount of music he has in his catalog, and that stat that O said earlier, combined 60s all the way up to the 90s decades, is huger than that combined. So when I'm thinking of that, he's realizing his value. He's realizing what leverage he has and what that can ultimately mean with him either being able to do this without the label or having more stake within the label. And so there was going to be some conversation that came about. It wouldn't have been the same way. We may have not had these details and lawsuits that come out. It may have been a more friendly exchange on their relationship extending, actually. But the Not Like Us stuff, the way that went down, I think that forced his hand to say, all right, I'm just going to not be on the same side as y'all. Because I heard there was a rumor out there where UMG actually wanted to go in with him to then sue Kendrick. It almost seemed like they're in favor of him, or they actually have his back. But to me, that says, no, Drake already had different problems with them if he want to now go with his label. So that's kind of how I would see that.
Okay. Fair enough, fellas. We good.
You got anything to add to that, G?
I mean, honestly, I would just say one of the eye-opening things for me, look, I'm the biggest Joe Budden fan in the world, and it's been hard for me to see him really drag Drake through the mud over the last, I would say, eight, not even 8, but over the last year since For All the Dogs dropped. Yeah. But they had a conversation about this on the pod, and he kept on saying, the leverage that Drake has is, hey, go in that corner and figure something out until I'm happy. That's what he kept on saying. Drake needs to go to UMG and tell them, go in that corner and figure something out until I'm happy. And this is from an individual who hasn't been the most fond of Drake, but he knows the powers that this individual has with inside of the music industry. And I really do feel like this has been brewing for a long time. A lot of his bars have been really pointing at this, him wanting to have other.
Oh yeah, when you start to dissect the bars,
yeah. So to answer your question, I feel like it might not have been this petition, but what Drake, whatever his end goal is, it hasn't necessarily changed because of Not Like Us. That's how I put it.
Yeah. No, I can see that for sure, man. Yeah, man. Closing thoughts, dog. I don't even know how this necessarily unfolds. Like, I've never seen, an artist of his magnitude battle the label of the magnitude he's battling and what the aftermath of that looks like. I don't know what that looks like. I did see the episode where you was talking about Joe and then was basically playing like Joe was the label. Yeah. Everybody on the crew, or the rest of the cast was Joe was actually Drake, and everybody, the rest of the cast was the label. And so I thought that was a cool exercise because I feel like Joe, like you said, he has insight. Joe was doing this for years with the pod, when he was getting all these people looking at him in the evolution of what we seen with the pod and him getting deals and him saying like him basically having to be a trailblazer for the people that come behind him. Not necessarily like maybe even doing that with it in mind, but knowing the fact that the power piece that he has in the podcast world is very much parallel to what Drake is in the music world. So I thought that was very insightful, bro. But I just don't know what the timeline of this even looks like. Like, does Drake, like, he's been talking about Party Next Door and his album is 75% done. Like, will you release?
I don't think it comes out this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you going to release an album while being at odds and in a feud? Or I don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that entails. Like, how do you move forward? Now, it does happen where people sue, like, maybe their same company and they continue. Like, I think I want to say there was a bit of a riffraff between Vanessa Bryant and Nike once Kobe passed. Rest in peace, Mamba. Where there was a conflict with how they were going to handle the Kobe brand in the leg of the company that Vanessa didn't agree with. And they had to come back to the table, figure it out, make it right by him and with her. And they continued their relationship, and it is what it is now. It's, the Kobe's go crazy every release. And so it's possible that they can continue their relationship, but that depends on kind of what Drake end goal is. And, I don't know what it means for the music in the meantime, though. So we shall see, man. But it did make me think, like, man, this cat Drizzy, if he is blowing up the whole industry, including blowing up his own spot, being like Mike a lot, a lot of cats, they say they got Mike out of here. So he may need to move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, but that's about it, folks. What you got cats going for the rest of the week, man? How we feeling? What niggas been on lately, dog, before we get out of here? Cats got going, man.
Man, I mean, for me, honestly, it's really been, I've been chilling, trying to, stay in the gym. I don't know if y'all see on my IG, but trying to drop a few more DJ reels, trying to get back to that a little bit more often. But other than that, everything's chill.
That's what's up, my G. Anything popping up now, Kenny G? What else cracking, man?
Yeah, trying to close the year strong. Working on a few things creatively with some of my brothers in various cities, and just got back from a few conferences and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Being a part of a few efforts and things of that nature that I'll be sharing at a later date as things unfold. But a lot of work and a lot of rest at the same time. Yeah, that's
excited for that, my G. Yeah, man. Just to kind of speak into the future, man. 2025. Excited to have these cats right here, part of the squad. I don't even know if I don't know who I've been talking to between both of y'all, but definitely some additions being added to the pod for sure, man, that I'm excited about, that I think could really elevate this whole space and platform all in all. And so, yeah, man, with that being said, man, make sure y'all follow the podcast at the Word of Clarity Pod. Make sure you follow these other cats at they username handles, man. Give it to them right quick, yeah.
At DJ Darrow _.
At DJ Darrow underscore, is that it?
Yeah, at DJ Down underscore. That's it.
This
Bet,
nigga
bet, bet.
crazy.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't know. I thought it was longer. At Kenny Klarity with a K. Yeah, tap in, man, on all platforms. So, yeah, let's get it rocking.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all tap in with these cats, man. Like I said, follow the Word of Clarity Pod everywhere, man. The episodes will be getting uploaded to the DSPs ASAPity. Follow your boy at It's Just underscored everywhere. Y'all know what time it is, man. We up out of this thing. Yeah.